bienvenue. My name is Derek Chung, and I am the President and Chief Executive Officer of Defence Construction Canada. Joining me today are Maurice Miller, Chair of DCC's Board of Directors, and Juliette Woodfield, Vice President Finance and Human Resources and Chief Financial Officer. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that this recording is taking place in Ottawa on the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. We are grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. This past year has continued to be a very challenging one. DCC employees continue to work remotely while managing personal and family responsibilities under evolving pandemic restrictions. With the vaccination rate among Canadians steadily increasing, I am optimistic that we are seeing the beginning of the end of the pandemic restrictions. As Canadians, we have been shaken to the core with recent events that remind us that Canada is not immune to issues of racism, discrimination, and violence that many people face and have faced in the past. Through ongoing efforts to promote diversity and inclusion, DCC is committed to helping build a stronger, more inclusive Canada and to make positive contributions to the communities where we work. As we take time today to provide an overview of DCC's past year, we thank you for your support. This has been a time like none other in our history, and we owe thanks to all with whom we work, our client partners, our industry partners, our community partners, and our DCC team for the collaboration and dedication that has made it possible to continue our work in the service of all Canadians. I would like to now invite Maurice Miller, Chair of the DCC Board of Directors, to give her annual update on DCC's performance and progress on its strategic commitments.
Thank you, Derek, and hello, everyone. I'm Maurice Miller, and as the Chair of the Board of Directors for Defence Construction Canada, I am very pleased to welcome you to our annual public meeting for 2021. I hope that you and your families are keeping safe and well. In many ways, the pandemic changed everything about the way we work, but DCC's work could not stop. We needed to maintain momentum on critical defense, security, and environmental infrastructure projects. But, like other governmental organizations and businesses, we had to adapt quickly and repeatedly. We needed to accommodate close to 1,000 employees suddenly working from home, while supporting our industry partners who were also working under pandemic conditions, including construction sites shutting down, shrinking labor pools, and disrupted supply chains. And yet, as I saw throughout the year, the pandemic didn't change DCC's fundamental approach to business. Instead, our agility and resilience, developed over decades of responding to the needs of our defense and security client partners, served us well. Of course, we focus more on stringent health and safety protocols to keep not only our own people, but everyone on our project sites safe. Our employees rose above the evolving situation, providing the same, if not better, service delivery. We took advantage of technology that made new ways of working possible, from virtual meetings such as today's annual public meeting, to e-procurement that also served our industry partners effectively whenever they were working. The pandemic certainly highlighted the challenges of a fee-for-service business model, which requires the ability to react with extreme flexibility to changes in service delivery pace and method. Indeed, DCC faced an increased level of service delivery in the past year, as our client partners also reacted to the operational and economic implications of COVID-19. Through it all, DCC's entrepreneurial nature kept procurements and projects moving, even the delivery of the new multinational headquarters building in Riga, Latvia. Our key performance indicators demonstrate this: that DCC actually outperformed financially during the year, and employee productivity was higher than usual. We do expect this to return to more sustainable target levels as the impacts of the pandemic eventually move behind us. In the meantime, as we continue to navigate these uncertain times, I extend my deepest thanks to our Board of Directors for their consistent guidance and considerable insights, and to DCC's employees for their hard work, ingenuity, and determination. May we all regroup this time next year, healthy, safe, and together in person. Derek, back to you.
Thank you so much, Maureen. Last year at this time, I talked about how proud I was of DCC's ability to ensure smooth operations under the most difficult circumstances. Over the past year, I've had a front row seat at many remote gatherings, from specialist technical workshops to board-level strategy meetings. At each one, I've experienced our people working with their teams and our client partners and contractors to bring forward new ways of achieving our goals and supporting each other. I could not be more impressed as our people continue to achieve the ambitious objectives within our 4 strategic themes: people, service delivery, business management, and leadership and governance. This pace of work for the DCC team during the pandemic has been admirable, but we are very aware that it is not sustainable. We are focusing on managing workloads and providing robust and meaningful health and safety support, including flexible work arrangements. I am especially pleased that we have delivered both the development and the recent launch of new 5-year strategies for diversity and inclusion and workplace wellness and mental health. These are important supports for the team at DCC, and we are committed to this work. I am encouraged that the overall economic outlook is good. With our expertise, experience, and flexibility, we are focusing on continuously improving how we serve our client partners. On this note, I would like to highlight several key areas, including D&D's green defense initiatives. From green procurement, such as energy performance contracts, to our first net zero building, we are helping the Department of National Defense achieve its goal of reducing emissions to net zero by 2050. We are also continuing to innovate in service delivery. We are using a phased design, build, delivery for the Future Fighter Capability Project that allows design to proceed effectively in advance of final requirements. We have achieved substantial completion for the federal government's first use of IPD, Integrated Project Delivery, for the Royal Canadian Dragoons building at CFB Petawawa. And we are managing end-of-life infrastructure via the prototype state-of-the-art Research and Development Center at CFB Valcartier for D&D's science and technology community. At the same time, we are also delivering on Government of Canada's priorities. This includes implementing our dedicated strategy to increase Indigenous participation in the contracts we manage for D&D. In the 2020-21 fiscal year, DCC hosted a series of outreach sessions to help Indigenous partners build capacity and knowledge to access procurement opportunities, and awarded a total of 55 contracts to Indigenous businesses with a value of $19 million. DCC has created meaningful partnerships with Indigenous organizations to develop an Indigenous recruitment and retention strategy, and DCC employees have participated widely in cultural awareness training. In January 2021, DCC embarked on a journey towards Progressive Aboriginal Relations Certification, also known as PAR, through the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business. Our goal also is to create meaningful work, training, and growth for Indigenous people and businesses, to create a learning and development environment for all employees that supports and encourages an inclusive workplace, and to play our part in contributing in a real and concrete way to reconciliation efforts across the country. The agility and resilience we are drawing upon to accomplish all of this while still managing COVID-19 is thanks to our leadership and our employees. To the board, thank you for your exemplary support over the past year, and to our employees, you have gone above and beyond, and I am very grateful for your outstanding efforts to support each other, our client partners, and our industry. It is now my pleasure to introduce Juliette Woodfield, DCC's Vice President, Finance and Human Resources, and Chief Financial Officer, who will provide highlights of the corporation's financial results for the 2020-21 fiscal year.
Merci Derek. C'est un plaisir d'être ici aujourd'hui. There is no doubt that the COVID-19 pandemic has been the defining factor of 2020-21. Throughout this period, DCC has been keeping business as close to usual as possible while fulfilling our obligations to our client partners. The volume of new tenders we awarded has remained steady, with over 1,600 contracts to contractors, consultants, and suppliers, at a total value of $855 million. At our current level of activity, we generate 3,600 to 4,000 full-time jobs while injecting money into local communities through payments to contractors and consultants. Le régime de rémunération des services de CDC, qui ne prévoit aucun crédit du gouvernement du Canada, est directement lié aux dépenses de nos clients partenaires, portant sur les projets d'infrastructure et d'environnement. Les produits tirés des services facturés ont été de 128 millions de dollars l'année dernière, une augmentation de 13 millions de dollars par rapport à l'exercice financier précédent. Ceci s'explique principalement par une hausse de la demande de services de la part de nos clients partenaires. Grâce à notre agilité, nous avons augmenté notre masse salariale avec une majoration de 4% de salaire et des avantages sociaux. DCC's billing rates are almost half of those of comparable North American private sector engineering firms. Our objective is to operate on a slightly better than break-even basis, so we carefully calibrate our billing rates, including any year-to-year changes, to ensure we continue to meet our operational and capital requirements. In 2020-21, DCC's services cost 12% of DND's infrastructure and environmental programs delivered in the year. DCC's income for the year was $7 million higher than forecasted due to higher demand for services, along with operating and administrative costs that were 26% lower than projected. The decrease was due mainly to decreased travel and training costs related to COVID-19 restrictions, lower than anticipated professional fees, and our decision to defer the procurement of a construction management mobile application and other IT initiatives until 2021-22. Au cours des 5 prochaines années de planification, nous prévoyons des charges liées au marché de prêt de $1 milliard chaque année. Ces charges appuient l'infrastructure du projet de capacité future en matière d'avions chasseurs et des navires de combat de surface canadienne et la gestion de marché de services écoénergétiques partout au Canada. Nous accélérons aussi nos investissements dans les innovations d'affaires, en particulier notre capacité numérique, afin d'accroître notre efficacité et ainsi rapporter encore davantage de valeur à l'État. Looking ahead, we expect the effects of the pandemic to continue, with our priority on continuing to manage the impact on business operations. We also anticipate that the Government of Canada may require DCC support for infrastructure investment during the pandemic recovery. The pandemic is changing societal norms, employee expectations, the economic outlook, and the way collaboration occurs. In the future workplace, likely a hybrid of on-site and remote environments, DCC will continue to improve the way we serve our client partners while engaging and supporting our workforce. Thank you. Merci.